What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Saturday, December 23rd, 2023, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. So, another ship was attacked last night in the Middle East, but what's interesting is this time this ship was only 200 nautical miles off the coast of India, and Israeli media is confirming now that the ship was attacked by a drone launched from Iran. Israeli News 12 and Israeli Broadcasting Corporation are confirming this. So, looks like Iran launched a drone at an Israeli linked chemical products tanker near India, and the Indian Navy responded to the incident. There was damage to the ship, but there were no casualties. And here we have the official warning that was put out by the UK MTO. And you can see here that an uncrewed aerial system on a vessel caused an explosion and fire 200 nautical miles southwest of Veraval, India. Fire extinguished, no casualties. Authorities are investigating. So, this is huge news, guys. Okay. Iran is now launching drones directly at ships. First, it was the Houthis, and now Iran is doing it themselves. So, this situation in the Middle East is escalating by the day. Okay, make sure you guys are getting prepared. And what you're looking at here is Sergei Lavrov's plane. He went to Washington, D.C. on Thursday for a surprise visit. What the reason for the visit was, we have no idea. Maybe there's going to be some kind of escalation in Ukraine coming up. Maybe there's going to be an escalation in the Middle East with Operation Prosperity Guardian. And the president of Ukraine confirmed a week ago in his end of the year press conference that Ukraine is going to be drafting 500,000 people into the Ukrainian military. And Putin confirmed in his end of the year press conference that Russia has already 600,000 troops ready to go. So it looks like there's going to be a massive escalation in Ukraine in 2024 with both sides, Russia and Ukraine, drafting over 500,000 people to fight in this war. So this is a very serious situation. So maybe that's why Lavrov went to the US to talk about that. I have no idea. And the Israeli Defense Forces confirmed that they've carried out a wave of strikes against Hezbollah sites overnight and this morning. And the IDF is saying that the targets included a military compound and other infrastructure used by Hezbollah. And the IDF says that it also carried out artillery shelling along the border. So, massive strikes on Hezbollah overnight last night. And Ukraine says that it shot down 3 Russian bomber aircraft. The Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and military officials said the country's forces shot down 3 Russian Sukhoi 34 fighter bomber aircraft on the southern front on Friday, hailing it as a success. Reuters reports that the Russian military made no mention of the incident, but Russian mill bloggers acknowledged the loss, and analysts suggested U.S. supplied Patriot missiles had probably been used. And there's been lots of fighting going on in southern Gaza in the past 24 hours. Israel launched a large assault on Rafah and Jabalia. There's heavy fighting ongoing right now with artillery shelling being reported, and the Israeli Navy and Israeli Air Force are involved. And Israel eliminated the main Hamas weapons commander, Hassan Atrash. He was eliminated yesterday, and he was eliminated yesterday by an attack from an Israeli fighter jet. And an Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps commander said the Mediterranean Sea could be closed if the United States and its allies continue to commit quote unquote crimes in Gaza. Iranian media reported on Saturday without explaining how that would happen. They shall soon await the closure of the Mediterranean Sea the Straits of Gibraltar and other waterways, Tasnim quoted Brigadier General Mohammed Reza Naqvi, coordinating commander of the IRGC. Okay, so the commander of the IRGC is saying they're going to close the Straits of Gibraltar. Absolutely insane, guys, and it wouldn't surprise me. And Biden wouldn't do anything about it. He hasn't done anything about Ukraine. He hasn't done anything about the Red Sea. He hasn't done anything about Venezuela. He hasn't done anything about North Korea, who just tested a long-range solid-fueled missile. He hasn't done anything about China. The leader of China basically told Biden in San Francisco that they're going to take back Taiwan. I mean, our president is basically incompetent, and the whole world knows it, guys. Okay, that's why they're doing all these things. And the World Health Organization is reporting that cases of the C1NINE have risen by 52% in the last month. And Taiwan's Ministry of Defense says 10 Chinese warplanes crossed the Taiwan Strait last night. And the Associated Press quoted the International Atomic Energy Agency and other experts as saying that North Korea recently began operating a light water reactor at its main nuclear facility, which could indicate an attempt to develop another type of nuclear weapon. If correct, the assessment would show that North Korea has taken a step to implement leader Kim Jong un's repeated vows to build more nuclear weapons in response to what he described as intensifying U.S. led military threats. The International Atomic Energy Agency has observed increased levels of activity at and near the light water reactor at the Yongbyon nuclear complex, and since mid October, a strong water outflow from its cooling system. IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi said Thursday plutonium is one of the two key ingredients used to manufacture nuclear weapons, along with highly enriched uranium. Yongbyon has long produced plutonium from its widely known 5 megawatt reactor, and the light water reactor would be an additional plutonium producing source. Yongbyon has a uranium enrichment facility as well. Plutonium is better suited for miniaturized nuclear warheads. Some experts say North Korea has been working to build warheads small enough to be placed on short range missiles targeting South Korea. Grossi said recent observations indicate that the water discharge seen in October is warm, an indication the reactor has reached criticality, but without access to the facility, the IAEA cannot confirm its operational status. According to a South Korean estimate in 2018, North Korea has manufactured 20 to 60 nuclear weapons, but some experts say the North has likely more than 100 nuclear weapons, guys. So this is huge, okay? The IAEA is saying that North Korea is spinning up a light water reactor and producing a lot more nuclear material for nuclear weapons. And the head of the Estonian Ministry of Internal Affairs declared his readiness to extradite Ukrainians to the Ukrainian armed forces. Fighting age Ukrainian men in Estonia could be extradited to their home country and forced to join the war effort amid a shortage of soldiers. Estonia's public broadcaster ERR reports that the Baltic nations stands ready to support Ukraine in its proposals to conscript Ukrainian men abroad for military service. So this is crazy, guys. They're going to be conscripting Ukrainians that left Ukraine after the war started. And I want to just give you guys an update on the situation in Ukraine. Apparently, both Ukrainian and Russian troops are suffering from exceptional levels of rat and mice infestation in some sectors of the front line, according to UK intelligence. The Ministry of Defense says rodent populations have risen due to milder temperatures in recent months and plenty of food. This year's mild autumn, along with ample food from fields left fallow due to the fighting, have likely contributed to the increase in the rodent population. As the weather has become colder, the animals are likely seeking shelter in vehicles and defensive positions. Rodents will add further pressure to frontline combatants' morale. In addition, they pose a risk to military equipment by gnawing through cables, as recorded in the same area during the Second World War. Unverified reports also suggest Russian units starting to suffer from increased sickness cases, which the troops attribute to the pest problem. And Russian troops have made small territorial gains in recent weeks on the front lines in eastern Ukraine, with their manpower advantage seen as one decisive factor, reports the New York Times. Russia's recent advances near Avdiivka, as well as around other cities such as Kupiansk, Bakhmut, and Marinka, are also further evidence that Russia has firmly seized the initiative on much of the battlefield. Currently, the situation on the front line is difficult and is gradually deteriorating. Yehor Chernev, the deputy chairman of the Ukrainian Parliament's Committee on National Security, Defense, and Intelligence, said in an interview, "Without American ammunition, we are beginning to lose territory that was hard won this summer." So, just a total disaster, guys. Total disaster in Ukraine. We've given them so much equipment, and now they're losing all that territory after all that equipment we gave them. And I blame the Biden administration, because the Biden administration is not doing enough to help Ukraine win. Okay, the Biden administration should have made a difficult decision from the beginning. They decided that they want to help Ukraine. Okay, they want to help Ukraine, then they have to go all in. They have to commit 100%. They can't just go halfway, because then it's going to cost a lot of money to taxpayers and create all kinds of problems around the world without any benefit. If you're going to decide to help Ukraine, then decide 100%. Don't decide 50%. Oh yeah, we're just going to give them, some ammunition just so they can barely hold the lines and maybe some air defenses. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, they have brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewithnyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life, and it's all contained within 6 rugged watertight buckets, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Free shipping included, 25% off their normal price. Use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get the discount. They also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which is excellent for outdoorsmen or people who go vehicle camping. They also have a general store. If you click the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com, it'll take you to their general store, where they have everything you can imagine, from potassium iodide to water filters, solar generators, solar panels, survival seeds, fire starters, anything you can imagine, it's all there. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month freeze-dried food supply. And the link is in the description below this video. The Dutch Ministry of Defense intends to recreate a tank battalion and wants to allocate approximately 300 million euros annually for this purpose in the coming years. The Dutch armed forces got rid of all their tanks in 2011, and since then the Dutch army has only had machines leased from Germany. Defense Minister Kajsa Ollongren already spoke about the need to purchase tanks in 2022 after the Russian invasion of Ukraine. In May, General Maurice Timmermans, head of training of the Dutch army, emphasized that the current leasing of Leopards from Germany is not an optimal solution. So, guys, Denmark wants to build their own tank force now, because 10 years ago they decided, we don't need tanks anymore, so we're just going to get rid of them and sell them off, because there's never going to be a land war ever again in Europe, or in general. They felt like they don't need tanks, so they got rid of them. And now they're scared, because they realize, oh crap, we have no tanks. The only tanks we have are ones that we borrow from Germany. So now they're scrambling, trying to buy tanks. because they know that war in Europe is coming, guys, and we are already in World War III. World War III started when Hamas attacked Israel on Putin's birthday, and Putin financed the attack on Israel. He gave Hamas the money and equipment that they needed to carry out that attack on Israel, and the purpose was to open up another front. Okay, as you see, the U.S. is now having to move its forces into the Middle East to deal with the situation in Israel and now with Yemen. And so now there's less attention on Ukraine and more attention on the Middle East, and that's exactly what Putin wants. And that's why Putin is drafting 600,000 men so he can make another big push in Ukraine. He knows this is an opportunity for him to take more land. And I think he's going to do it, guys. I think he's going to take more land from Ukraine. I think Ukraine is going to lose more territory and they're never going to get it back because the Biden administration is incompetent. And the assassination of the Wagner mercenary army chief Yevgeny Prigozhin was approved by a close ally of Vladimir Putin, the Wall Street Journal has reported after conversations with Western intelligence and a former Russian intelligence officer. Wow, guys, that doesn't surprise me at all. And former TV journalist Yekaterina Dunsova has been barred from running against Vladimir Putin in Russia's presidential election in March because of mistakes in her application to register as a candidate, her campaign team has claimed. The move came only 3 days after Dunsova, age 40, had applied to the Electoral Commission. She had planned to run on a platform of ending the war in Ukraine and freeing political prisoners. A video posted by a Russian news channel showed a meeting of the Central Electoral Commission at which its members voted unanimously not to allow Dunsova's candidacy to go ahead. And if any of you guys watch Inside Russia, Constantine did an entire live stream on this lady, and I think he did it like 2 days ago. So I recommend you guys check that live stream out. He's going to be probably sad to hear this, but it doesn't surprise me at all. They don't want any real candidates running against Putin in Russia. And the Czech Republic is having a national day of mourning over the victims of the mass shooting at the university in Prague that left 14 people dead. So that's the latest breaking news that I have, guys. I will continue to monitor all the breaking news and let you guys know if there's any emergencies. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell below this video so you get notified when I post these updates. And I want to let you guys know that tomorrow is Christmas Eve and Monday is Christmas Day. So you might see reduced breaking news updates on this channel because I'm going to be busy with family. I might put out some videos depending on whether I have time or not to do so, but it's not a guarantee. So in the meantime, I'm going to be posting other types of content, hunting, firearms, and outdoors content, things that are a little bit lighter, things that are not so serious. But the U.S. military is on high alert right now, guys. Okay, we have a lot of activity around the country being reported. People are emailing me almost every day telling me that they see an uptick in military activity in their area that they've never seen before. We've seen in the last 2 weeks record amount of nuclear war command and control planes in the air. We've seen doomsday planes in the air. We've seen B-2 stealth bombers doing exercises in the North Sea. We've seen B-1 nuclear bombers in Japan. North Korea testing a solid fueled ICBM. I mean, things are escalating, guys, all around the world. Okay, in the Middle East, we have the Operation Prosperity Guardian about to kick off, which I think is going to be a full scale military operation against Yemen and potentially even Iran eventually. So, get prepared, okay? Make sure you have everything you need. If you're traveling today, be very careful. And if you're going anywhere for the holidays in terms of public gatherings, be very, very careful and make sure you have your bug out bag and a medical kit on hand and a self-defense tool in case something happens. The FBI and the DHS and the National Counterterrorism Center basically are saying that the threat of terrorism now is as high as it was as before 9/11. So don't be surprised if there's some kind of big event soon. But that's the latest information that I have, guys. I might be back later on this evening with another update. But again, reduced programming tomorrow and over Christmas. And I'm wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas and all the blessings to you from Jesus Christ. And until next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the three P's: prepare, practice, and persevere.